Hello guys, welcome to React training session. So in this session, I would like to highlight what is the React hook, what is the React useState hook. So guys, let's deep dive. So guys, what is the React useState hook? So React useState hook allows us to track the state in a functional component. So this means that we can create the state, or we can create the stateful logic inside our functional component with the help of React useState hook. So the state generally refer to the data and the property that need to be tracking in a in an application. So how to use this use state hook inside our functional component? So to demonstrate that, I would like to create a one short example, that is counter application. Let's quickly create a one counter application. So I will write the counter.js here, and I will put it in component folder. So let's create the counter.js. So let's quickly create the let's use some shortcut, that is RFC. It will give me the boilerplate code for the functional based component. So this is our function based component. So let's, so what is the use state? So to demonstrate the use state, what I will do, I will quickly create a one state variable inside our functional component. So to use the use state inside our functional component, what we need to do, we need to first import it from the React library. That is, we can do like this. That is use state from the React library. Now we have what we have first step we have created is we have created the use state. We have imported the use state hook. Now we need to we need to use that hook inside our functional component. So how we can use? So we can write like this use state, and we can initialize that hook with with the default value. It depends on your what type of state you are creating. If you are creating the number as a state variable, and then we can put the zero, or whatever you want. Let's say I'm creating the counter, or let's say count comma set count. So in this case, count is my what use state returns. It returns the two variable, that is one is a first one is the current state, and the second one is a setter function for updating this current state. So in this case, count is my integer variable, or we can say integer state variable, so that I am initializing it with the zero. Now the second step is, we have now in the second step, what we have done, we have created our local state variable. It will be limited to this counter function component only. Now the third step is to print this variable. Now you can see inside the return statement, we have written one JSX element, and inside that JSX we have printed our count variable here. Directly we can use the name of the variable what we have created using the use state. So I have printed here count as my variable name. Now what I want to do, I want to create I want to fourth step. What is my fourth step is, I want to update this count state. Means I want to increment this counter or decrement this counter variable. So for that, I would require two buttons. So I will create a quickly two buttons. That is, first one is increment. First one is for incrementing the count, increment, and the second one is a decrement. Second one is for decrementing the count. So here quickly I will change the name, and again I will assign the event handler, respective event handler for that. So I will write here handle increment, and again here for the decrement I will write on click event, and will assign the event handler to it as a decrement event, or a handle decrement. So let's quickly define that two event handler. So I'm using the arrow function for that. Yeah, so inside arrow function, so quickly create for increment as well. So these two event handlers I have created. So let's change this to increment. So increment. Now our goal is to update our state. So how to update our state? So what I want to do, if the user click on the increment button, then I need to update, or update the current state of the counter variable, or we can do what we can say, we need to update the state. So how we can update the state using the use state? So what use state returns? Uh, Please closely look at the line number 4. So what use state is returning? It is returning the one counter variable which is our current state, and it is returning one more setter function for updating our current state. So we can use that setter function directly here inside our event handler, and we can write like this. So we need to increment the value of the counter by 1 when user click on the increment or increment button. And the same way, what I want to do, I want to decrement the value of the counter when the user click on the decrement button. So now you can see we have created two event handler, that is handle increment and handle decrement, respective for the two button, that is increment and decrement. So when user click on the increment button, it will increment the value of the counter by 1, and when user decrement click on the decrement button, it will decrement the value of the counter by 1. So this is our counter functional component we have created with the name counter, uh, with the help of useState hook. So we have used the state inside this. So let's quickly add this into our app component. So I'm adding counter. So quickly import it from the uh, counter.js file. So now what we have created, we have added our counter component or a counter function component in our app component. Now we can run directly. Now if we go to the browser and hit the URL http colon slash slash localhost colon 3000, then we will see this code. So let's quickly add the one BR so that we can see those buttons on the next level, or we can say below the counter. So now we can see, so increment and decrement, we have the two button, that is increment, and the second one is a decrement. Now we can see if user click on the increment button, it will increment the value of the counter by 1. It is updating the current state by incrementing it to 1. And if I click on the decrement button, it is decrementing the current state of the counter to 1. So so we have created this using the use state hook. So now so what the use state do? So we can now include our state anywhere in our component. So this we have done. So set state we have done. What we can now guys, we have to see what can the state hold, or what use state can hold. So guys, the use state hook can be used to keep a track of string, number, boolean, array, object, or any combination of those. So we could create the multiple state hook to track the individual value. So for example, let's say I want to create the person name, or I want to print the person name using the state. So I can create, that is name variable I can create. So here is the name, and what is the syntax to give the setter function name? So it should be in the camel case. That is what I will do here, set name, and I will initialize, as it is name, it is a string, so I can initialize it with the blank, or we can say I will initialize it with the sarthak. Okay. Now we can. What is the next step? We need to print this name inside our JSX. So what I will do, I will print that name below the buttons. That is, I will directly print. Uh, let's add some text here. So the let's say person name is colon, we can directly print our state variable here like name. Now we can see, let's again add the br here. So quickly copy this br and paste it here so that we can see it below the buttons. Now we can see we have the two state variable we have added here. That is, one is a counter and second one is a string variable, that is name. So in this way we can add any type of state to our component. That is, we can add integer, float, string, boolean. Then we can have the arrays. We can have the string. So anything. So in this way we can use the state inside our functional component without converting our component to the class based component. So this was the completely dedicated video to the use state hook. So guys, if you like this video, please hit the like button. Thank you guys for watching.